Hello lovely Simmers, SimsEclaire here and welcome back to my channel. For today's video we are doing another small home. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a couple of these just until I get my bearings with my job and all the stuff, my school ending, so I have a little bit more time, but now I have to catch up on things in my life. So right now we're sticking with some small homes, but this home, I think I'm going to end up calling it the Colorful Cabin. I'm not 100% sure at the time that I'm doing this voiceover, but my idea for this home is that it was an artist's home. They had moved out of the city. They were kind of having like artist block, I guess. They couldn't really do their art. They didn't have any inspiration. So they moved out of the city into Granite Falls to kind of just try and get away. It was initially a vacation, but then they ended up buying the home or the lot and then putting like this little tiny home on it. And so it's very colorful, it's very artistic, but it's like set inside the wilderness. So there's a little bit of like a contrast between what I end up doing with the lot and like how full and overgrown it is versus like the bright colorful spot of this house. And that's exactly how I envisioned it. I wanted the house to be kind of a stark difference from the rest of the world, because I definitely thought that this sim who was living here was not from here. They weren't usually the outdoorsy type, but they just kind of found their inspiration and their life out here in the wilderness. So that's the idea behind the sim living in this house and kind of why the house is super light and bright. As you can see, I did kind of like my own siding, so I used the wall decorations from Snowy Escape, and I just lined them up on the bottom of the house. I didn't like the all blue. I thought that the house looked very plain. It wasn't as bright as I had wanted it to be, so I wanted to add some like pops of white, and I thought what a better way to do this than do kind of like a bottom siding. I've been watching a lot of Fixer Upper while I'm like building my things because I love that show, and Magnolia Network just came out, and so I've been like watching a lot of that, watching a lot of Fixer Upper, so I'm kind of like pulling some things that Joanna Gaines does. So if I end up talking like that, I really do apologize. I've just been watching so much of that show. But over here we are doing some of the landscape. So a part of what I wanted to do was use like the pond tool and kind of just like really build up the landscape around this lot. Because like I said, I thought that this sim had probably just bought the lot and then just built like a really small house on top of it, because they really just wanted to be a part of nature. They wanted to be inside of it. They wanted to get the inspiration from it. So they didn't want too much of like anything that reminded them of the city. They just wanted straight, outdoors, wilderness. They have a lot of windows in their place. They really like the natural light for their painting and stuff like that. So that's why I'm kind of like building up the lot. And as you can see, I did leave a little bit of space off to the left because I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough room for this house like inside, and I ended up not. So that's why I cut out the floor plan this time around, is because it took me really long, because I ended up having to add like a couple of extra tiles on the front or on the left and the back of the house. So the exterior does look a little different in the final product than what it does now, but it's basically the same. All the colors are the same, the decor is the same, the accents are the same. It's just a little bit bigger. Now going on to the inside of the house, there's this like little awkward hallway, and I never know what to do with these because I don't just like hanging pictures on the walls, because I feel like I always just like throw a picture up. I'm like, oh, there's an empty space, let me just throw a picture. And it's kind of the same in my apartment. I have a lot of pictures up on my walls because I can't really, in apartments you're not allowed to like nail things into the wall, so I can't hang anything substantial. Like I can't hang mirrors, I can't hang shelves, so I'm just using like command strips, and I just have artwork all over the walls. But I am working on something a little cool in my bedroom. That's like the only room in my apartment that I haven't decorated yet, so I am going to be working on that myself. I am inspired a little bit by the Fixer Upper. Let's just say it does involve some faux shiplap wallpaper. But anyway, going into the kitchen, I really wanted this to be a very bright and country style kitchen. So I'm using the Country Kitchen kit. Not the cottage living, this is the country living kit, and I'm using the green. I love green kitchens. I don't know what it is, but something about like the green wood with like the basic butcher block countertops, it screams to me. So I really wanted to do the green kitchen, and I also thought it fit with this theme because the walls are kind of purple, and like orange and purple, orange, and green always go really well for me. And also it kind of brings in like some of like the nature aspect, because obviously there's a lot of green in nature, and I feel like bringing that onto the inside without having too many plants is kind of what this sim would do, because I don't do a lot of plants. I do have a couple here and there, but I didn't think this sim was like a gardener or anything, not like my usual sims are, so I didn't want to do too many plants because I didn't think that that was really their style. And going over here to the very cramped living room, kind of like the last build that I just did, I ended up putting a love seat. I was going to do a couch, but it just wasn't going to fit. And then I ended up doing one of the chairs from Tiny Living, just kind of adding some more color, just making things flow a little bit better. And then I ended up adding a rug and then another coffee table, like shrinking down the one from Tiny Living to kind of make it a set. And then I used the table from Movie Hangout with all the flower prints. I thought that maybe they had painted that table themselves and they were like really proud of it, so they wanted to use it as a focal point. I did give them a little TV. I thought that, you know, they were from the city, they probably got used to having like their news, or maybe they have art shows and stuff that they like to watch, so I did want to make sure that they had just a little piece to kind of show their story, that they weren't from here initially. They did have a different life before they came here. And then going into the bathroom, very simple: shower, sink, toilet. It's a very small bathroom, and the layout's a little weird because of where I placed the door, so everything's kind of like cramped, but the Sims can still use it. It's completely functional, so you shouldn't have any issues. And then going into the bedroom, the bed is placed against the wall, which is why I said only one sim could be living here. Now, my game allows sims to scoot over. I think I've talked about this before. I've heard that there are some games where like glitches or it bugs out and your sims can't actually like scoot over on the bed. So if your game has that glitch, then only one sim can live in this house. If your game does not, and it's like mine, then two sims can technically sleep in this bed, so it's completely up to you. You can also extend the house by like one block and then just give the bedroom a little bit of extra space, but since I had thought that this story was going to be for one sim and one sim only, I wasn't really all that worried about it. And then the bedroom is very simply decorated. It's colorful, it has some artwork on the walls. I thought maybe it was like her first piece or something like that. And then just a nice colorful rug to bring the whole room together. And then out here on the back patio, there's just a couple of decorations and the artist easel, but besides that, that is it for this build. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all next time. Bye!